Well, sometimes people gotta realize when you got it bad. When you on this phone, hang up and you call right back. You gotta realize when you got it bad, man.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to our show. We're leveling up a little bit. So we are calling our show A B&C Conversation because we're Brit and Cognac. We're going to, specifically talk about women's sports, basketball, and just culture in general. And we're going to bring you unfiltered takes, big moments, and everything you need to know, especially about women's sports because we don't play. There's so much going on, and we feel like we just have so much to say. So this episode is sponsored by Brit Sports Gyms, a company dedicated to building athletes' brands, creating powerful athlete-driven content, and helping athletes build a legacy beyond the game. Now tap in, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Alrighty, so our first segment is called Opening Huddle. So we're just going to touch on a few topics in the NFL. Not going to get too crazy, but there's some stuff going on. So the main topic is the NFL head coach firings. What is going on? Raheem Morris from the Falcons. We got Kevin Stefanski. Of course, Dayball from the New York Giants. That happened earlier in the season. Pete Carroll. And then Jonathan Gannon. Did I miss anybody? Because it just keeps happening. What's going on?
I mean, well, they're wanting you to have. I mean, excuse me. They're wanting you to produce results. I start with the ball. You've had ample time. You've had ample time. You went through a couple
Yes.
quarterbacks, even drafted your own quarterback in Dart. Things don't, you on a short leash. Same thing with Stefanski. You had a little success there, but then you was always in the media with different things with Shadur. Pete Carroll just sometimes you just be outdated. That's how I feel about him. Jonathan Gannon, I feel like him and Raheem Morris is the two that kind of had, I ain't not say the shortest leash, but just those were more of a GM type thing, GM management ownership type things because of the calls. Like Jonathan Gannon didn't really come in with his own quarterback; he came in with Kyler Murray, even though he was excited to work with him. And Raheem Morris, um, you had you came in being able to get Kirk Cousins and y'all drafted Penix. I don't understand the reason to sign $100 million quarterback or $150+ million quarterback and draft a first round quarterback. It don't make sense to me. But I feel like some of those decisions are above your head. So but with the recent success of first year coaches like Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel, not saying first year coach, but first year with the organization, they produced immediate success. Then you look at long tenure with the Steelers, the Rams, and Sean McVay. So, you kind of got two different scales to judge it on, and y'all not mathing. Y'all not equivalent. So we got to do what's best for the franchise.
It just sucks because, normally when a head coach goes to a team, the team's not that great. Like, let's use the Raiders, for example. Their season was bad last year. You brought in Pete Carroll. Instead of drafting a quarterback, you bring in Geno, right? That's really where you messed up. But to give this man one season to make some things shake with that O-line and defensive team that's boo-boo, come on now. One more year at least. But just like fire somebody after a season when sometimes it's not their fault. The offensive coordinator was boo-boo. You got rid of him late in the season, but at that point, it's too late. They should have never
Yeah,
drafted Geno.
yeah. Nah, Gino went. I mean, you gotta expect that come with Pete Carroll. He worked with Gino for so many years, so it's kind of a coach and quarterback familiarity. I don't think he thought that they signed him on a short deal, so I don't think he thought Pete Carroll was going to be that short as well
Right.
as working with Gino. He thought he'd be there. He thought he'd be there for the 10-year Gino career. Well, not Gino career, but Gino's contract. But it looks like y'all both on the house. So sometimes
Both.
sometimes you live and die with some of the players that you handpick. Because I know coming in the door, I'm quite sure you're like, hey, go get Gino. That's somebody I'm familiar with. He still could play at this level. So you live in like you live in that with some of the players and choices that you make.
I just feel like Max Crosby just needs to go. Like and it's not because he's a bad player. It's because he deserves to be on a contending team. This team ain't it. It's the worst team in the NFL. It's so sad. It's
I
so.
mean, they say they're gonna work with Tom Brady and they're gonna Tom Brady's a proven winner. They're gonna work with Tom Brady. They're gonna work closely. They got the number one pick, so you have cornerstones to build on. Like you said, you have a Max Crosby, um, with a few draft picks, maybe a few marquee free agent signings if you have the cap room. You maybe be able to contend that division. That division there, you might can slide in. The Chiefs are going to be missing Mahomes. Um, the Broncos, but then again, the Broncos are looking like the top dog right now. They showed
Oh,
signs of it last year. As long as
mm-hmm.
the Chargers got hurt, but they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So you just have to, when you build your team, you build your team for the division. Figure out how you can contend in your division because you have a strong division. If you can contend within your division, you'll translate wins within the other games on your slate or your
So
schedule,
if you
perhaps per se.
so if you were Tom Brady or the GM, you got the number one pick. Who are you picking?
I myself personally, I'm picking Mendoza. Nobody
A
has shown,
quarterback.
yeah. Like if you look at his body of work, like when they played Ohio State, he one drive, give it to me. He's great in one score games, as you can see. Um, against marquee talent like Alabama, he gave him the business. He fits the size frame. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's got the size. He's mobile. He can get out the pocket, and he's displayed arm talent. And when you don't have a veteran cast of outside receivers, but you have a great inside in Gianti, and you have Brock Bowers, you got him a good, security blanket stuff like that. He'll be able to learn how to manage the game early off, and then you'll eventually get him premier weapons, and by then
Mm-hmm.
he'll be gone. I feel like you don't skip over Mendoza.
Yeah, I feel like if they get a quarterback, they're going to need some pieces to protect him better and obviously fix that defense because that ain't it.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna need that. But that's where free agency comes. Stockpiling on picks. You got the number one pick. I'm quite sure you got a few extra other picks. So you'll build a nucleus around them per se.
So now that we are heading into the postseason of the NFL, it's now win or go to Cancun. So these matchups, I'm going to go through them, and I want you to tell me who do you think's going to win?
Okay,
Rams versus the Panthers,
I got the Rams.
Packers versus the Bears,
That's a tough one. That's a close point spread. But if I had to say, give me the Packers. Give me the Packers.
the Bills versus the Jaguars.
Well, I am a Jacksonville fan. Our defense is playing incredible, but the Bears do have a game changer in Josh Allen. However, the game is in Duval. Give me Jacksonville.
It is a home game. Uh-oh.
Give me Jacksonville.
That's going to be a good one to watch. All
It
right,
is.
49ers versus the Eagles.
49ers versus the Eagles. Give me the Eagles. The 49ers, this is where all those injuries stockpile, they add up. Give me the Eagles.
Chargers versus the Patriots.
Chargers versus the Patriots. That's another good one. I know the point spread on that game is like by 3.5.
I'm
Um,
sure that's definitely going to be a close game.
Give me the Patriots. Josh Herbert has been nicked up a good bit. The Patriots and Drake may look like an MVP candidate. Like, put the ball in his hands. Let me see what he do. Give me the Patriots.
And last but not least, the Texans versus the Steelers.
The Steelers, you narrowly escaped against a Baltimore defense that's not even great. Like Lamar contended. CJ Stroud ain't no slouch. Give me the Texans.
All right, now we are going to get into one of the, I wouldn't say one of the biggest leagues in women's sports because obviously that's WNBA, but is a very good competitor. because Unrivaled is shaking things up. So, Unrivaled is a professional women's basketball league created by the players for the players. It's designed for athlete hoopers to play during the off season. It's a 3-on-3 format. There's 8 teams, and they even have a one-on-one tournament where you can compete for a significant amount of money. And I just feel like the style of the play is a little better. The court is smaller, so you're able to really just be around the court just a little bit better. There's more space, I feel like, for the players when it's 3 versus 5v5, because there's constant switching, isolations, and off-ball movement. And I'm actually really enjoying it. My favorite part is the fourth quarter. So once they get to the fourth quarter, they add 11 points to the team that has the most points, and that makes the target score. So now there's no shot clock, there's no time. I think there's still a shot clock, but there's no timer. So now whoever gets to that target score wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I feel like this is a really big shift in women's sports because it promotes ownership. You get equity. I think your salary is a lot more than the base salary for the WNBA. So you're already making more money in this league that's a duration of 3 months. And right now, the WNBA is in CBA negotiations, and I'm really curious to see what they do for their players to make things better. Because I sense a strike coming on. And I don't think these women are backing down.
I mean, they don't have no reason to back down. I mean, I know Kathy. In my opinion, Kathy is somewhere like, what did I just do? Because I mean, if you look at like all the advertisement and stuff leading up to Unrivaled, they're advertising the jerseys, they're advertising the practices, the arenas. They're having all kind of, they're having pretty much like a mixer. Like if you've been right, you know what mixers are. They having a mixer, like people come together, people selling food, this, that, then the third. What they're doing is they're selling themselves, they're selling product. The same stuff that you don't want to give us a percentage on, or rather the percentage that we desire. It's like a movie a while back, League of Their Own. Rosie O'Donnell played it. Like we feel like since there is no league for us, we'll make a league for our own. And if there is a league for us, y'all just don't want to give us our due diligence. So we'll just go to make a league of our own, get the shares off of it, and make more on the base side of it.
What's crazy to me is people say there's not enough money in the WNBA. But the fact that this Unrivaled team was able to raise money in the billions of dollars, get sponsors, get all this media coverage for 3 months, it took 2 people, Breonna Stewart and Nafisha Collier. Why can't it take the entire league, WNBA, front office? One thing they're trying to take away is housing for rookies. Where do you expect them to stay? Like, you're taking away things. It's just not making sense. You just don't have the best interest of your players. I think that really bothers me because they are making you money. If they weren't playing, are you getting a check? If they're not playing good, are they bringing in views, bringing in money for you to be paid? No. So why wouldn't you want the best for your product?
And then the product is changing. Streaming services are changing. So it's not like they're not getting seen. They're like when you have players that are participating in other venues, like you have the stud buzz and there's their streams. You have Angel Reese selling out shoes and on the catwalk for modeling. Um,
Victoria's Secret.
yeah, you got Caitlin Clark. Like in the recent years, you have players that are bringing light to the WNBA. But because they're bringing light, now that's putting the whole, it's putting them on the umbrella. Now the whole thing's under surveillance. Like, so they're getting views. They're getting views, and they're different social media platforms. You'll see somebody on a stream with the WNBA jersey on, and you mean to tell me that there's no viewership? You got to be kidding me. There's definitely viewership. international stars. Like there's like you got Gabby from like Gabby goes back and forth from France. Dom's over here. Uh, Lee Uri. You got players that are from different countries and cultures, and they're bringing exposure. Oh, it's out there. You just don't. You just don't. I mean, you just don't want to give it up, and they're forcing you right now to give it up. It's like uh like Fubu for us by us, and then you ever seen how high like Bufu
Yeah,
by us, and they're telling you, help you because this is what we just created. We don't need
right.
you. So how high can they take them?
It's just crazy. And it's crazy because they're doing so well. Like the players, just fans promoting women's sports. They're doing that themselves. Like the stud buds, they're doing that themselves. They're not getting paid to do all of this stuff. They just decided to go on stream and Twitch. Like I'm not understanding why the best interest for their players is just not it's not in the front of their mind.
It's what's in front of their mind is maintaining that money, and you got. I mean, to get something, you got to give something. So there's no way you're saying that there's no. I don't, and honestly, I feel like it's all spearheaded by one person.
Of course.
I mean, the investors, because I'm quite sure because you're the commissioner, so I'm quite sure the investors are probably like, we need to kind of give in a little bit, like because I mean they're seeing like, and then they created this league to where after the season, players could grow within the country itself, like they don't have to go overseas and market themselves somewhere else. They can market themselves here,
And keep it in house. Like
and
it's just
by y'all doing that, y'all trying. It's like you trying to force them, but they came together and say you're not finna force us to go overseas. We'll do it right here in house in front of your face.
in
So
front of your face.
so I mean you're gonna have to come to something eventually because if they're making more money on a shorter schedule, playing in a different format that people will be more tuned into. Because I mean 5-on-5 is cool, but 3-on-3 is something that you don't see every day unless you go to the ball. But that's where
Right.
your most fun basketball happens. That's where highlights are happen. That's where the ankle breaks happen because it's a wider court. It's a lot of space. That's where the isolation game occurs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the YouTube shorts come in. That's where the Instagram reels come in. That's where the game winners come in. That's where all the views and the stuff that you do not want to pay these guys for. This is where it's going to come back and bite you.
Right. Because yesterday was the season opener. We had I think every team played, I believe. And it was really nice. There was two set of games in the early afternoon, two set of games later in the evening. So it was a really good break. So just to see the physicality. And I feel like there's a lot of athletes that whose talent gets overshadowed because it's a team game, right? You have like for Vegas, you got Asia Wilson, you got Jackie Young, you got all these people. So sometimes you're not going to get seen. And sometimes like your mistakes can be hidden by the team game. But 3-on-3,
It's exposed.
you better
It's
come with it because
definitely
what I saw
exposed.
yesterday was crazy. Crazy. I was like, wow. One of my
Like,
favorite, Veronica Burton, physical. Monique Billings, physical. And what bothered me about it, and you made a valid point yesterday, it's like, it's just Mo by herself. The other team needs to help her. Sonia, Kelsey, she needs some help. But it was the first game, but still, like Mo wasn't playing.
nah, but that's that veteranness and willing to put the ball on the floor to understand 3-on-3 hoops. Like Sonya and Kelsey, they were two teaching her Heidemann, she did it as well. Put the ball on the floor, get to the rack.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the box score and the disparities between the game, like y'all was barely getting to the line. There was no free throws and there was no assist numbers. So that means it was just catch and shoot. And if it's not going, what's the next rule in basketball? If you're not shooting, well, get the ball to the rack. See the ball go in the hoop. They wasn't doing that. But I feel like that's more of a chemistry thing, and they'll eventually figure it out. They'll get a cohesion together. But it's nice to see a player like Mo Billings, who's been around for a while, shine in this format.
Right. And that's where like the physicality comes from. People don't think that women like basketball players aren't physical. They're physical. Leah Boston, physical.
Oh,
Monique Billings,
AB finna get to
physical.
you down there.
Like these women ain't playing. There's money on the line.
AB
This ain't
throwing
something that
balls
we
down
just doing for free.
there. AB throwing balls.
So who are some players that you're excited to see this season? Like stand out. I know Dom is one of them.
Yeah, I want to see Dom Dunk. I'm waiting on it. I see it coming. Ray Burrell is someone I've always take a note of because of her
Did you see her
energy.
touch
Like,
the rim?
say it again.
Did you see her touch the rim?
I did on the layup attempt. That's freakish athleticism. Not only that, like just if you watch, like not many shots put up, but the offensive rebounds. That's energy. The steals, the willingness to push when you got the isolation. That's I love her game as I love her game as far as the energy. Like she's an offensive juggernaut. But to see you do stuff off the ball, that's where I feel like the 3-on-3 Unrivaled League happens. It gets you a chance to grow your game. Like you're already a high energy player, but you're capitalizing on that strength. You're making your strength stronger.
I
Uh,
agree.
Another player I'm excited to see was oh, I see a team, the Breeze, because I was wondering, I was like, man, this is a young team. How would they respond? Paige handled the game like a vet.
Handled it like a vet. My goodness.
Dawn was
Rakia.
dominant down low and what she had to do. And that team is with Kate Martin coming off the bench. People don't know Ari McDonald is good for 3-on-3 play because on the transition she's fast.
She's sneaky. She's
She's
sneaky. She played for Indiana last year, right?
Yeah, I liked her when she played for the Sparks. She was just a spark plug. Like I'm talking about fast coming off the dribble. You can't beat it. So that's another thing. I was disappointed, however, with Ryan Howard yesterday. Um, it was
Let's
like
get into the box score here.
Ryan shot pretty much. She pretty much shot them out the game. Not saying I'm not out there not seeing what you're seeing. If you got the matchup, take it. But however, to go 2 for 10 from downtown, and the rest of your team took 10 3 points combined. So that means y'all took a total of 23s. A total of 23s, and you took half of them yourself and only made 20%. And you went 3 for 15 in general. Somewhere in there, it's like, okay, if you went 3 for 15, I'm quite sure you didn't go 3 for 3 and just missed the other 12. Somewhere in there, you had to be like, okay, the shot's not going. Let me because you on the
Let me
team
take
with
it.
Courtney, Hamby, Griner, Burrell, Erica Wheeler came off the bench doing nice work. You are with a team full of scorers. You don't have to take that many.
You do not have to take that many. Kick it. Be an assist queen, okay? Pass the ball. Because that wasn't, and it just seemed like maybe she was trying to be like the leader and like the main person, but Erica Willa had 12 points off the bench.
Right. I don't want to knock her because like in the dough we seen Ryan can give you a 40 piece
She
on them same
can.
shot volumes. It's just I'm saying like when you notice because it's shorter quarters,
Yep.
and the last quarter's played to like a set score level. So when
Mm-hmm.
you notice that it's not falling, it's just not your night, but you're surrounded by gifted scorers in every level. And Hamby is a 3-on-3 champion. Like she's got
Man,
experience in this format. Like,
she
and
has
she did well
experience.
yesterday.
Of course,
Just,
Mama D.
just sometimes you gotta, defer.
You do. It's okay. It's team ball.
There you go.
But overall, I feel like it was a great first opening day. The next games are on Friday, which is good. It kind of gives them a break in the middle of the week to kind of recoup, revamp, recalibrate, and kind of see what worked and what didn't work. I'm
I
excited.
had on my ticket last night. I played 2 tickets. I went 3 out of 4 on picks. I had Sonya Citron to go over, 13, 12 and a half. Get her to get 13, or was it 13 and a half? But regardless, she stuck at 10. Rakia Jackson went over the level at her number at 14 and a half points. But the ticket I hit on was Breonna Stewart. I took Breonna Stewart less than 19 and a half, and it kind of troubled me. Before I took, I'm like, really? But when you look at that team, Alicia Gray is another 3-on-3 champion. Alicia Gray is nice. Um, whenever you
She's
have a
great.
Rike, whenever you have a Rike coming off your bench, that's a luxury. I don't give a care what format you in.
I love Arike and Unrivaled. I didn't like her that much last season because I felt like with Paige coming in, there was a clash of leadership. Who's going to be the team leader? And I felt like she kind of took a step back and she was just wasn't making right plays. But in Unrivaled, she balls. I love to see her play. Last season, great. So excited she's back this season. I just don't know what it is. I don't think she needs to be in Dallas anymore. I think it's time to go to another team.
Yeah, it's probably sometimes you overstage you overstage your stay. But
She's great.
yeah, I took Brianna Stewart under 19 and a half. I mean that team was just too talented. And then
Yeah.
Brianna Stewart's at that point in her career, no matter what format, she's going to be Stewart, the all around star. But you don't if you can get her with other talented scorers, you got a problem because she can focus on the other areas of the game. She good at like defense. Like if she can solely focus on defense, man, you got a problem. Like yesterday with the Hive, they had a problem.
Hmm.
And I took Marina Mabry over 12 and a half. I got the word that
That was
Skylar
shaky.
I got the word that Skylar wasn't gonna play, and I figured it'd be just her and Aaliyah Edwards, and she had the lower number, so I was like, okay, I take the 12. I take the 13. It go.
Yeah, that was shaky in the beginning. They were getting blown out by like 20 some points.
It was
But they don't have Fee. They didn't have Skylar. I mean, they can only do so much.
Aaliyah Edwards is picking up what she left off from last year though. So
All right, so let's get into our next segment called Five Things You Should Know. The first thing, media coverage versus actual viewership. I think there's a disconnect with when people argue about the WNBA viewership. People think that just because it's not on ESPN all the time, it's not on Fox all the time, it's not on these main platforms that you stream, football or NBA, that there's no viewership. But like you mentioned earlier, there's streamers. There's different platforms, HBO Max, there's TNT, there's I think True TV is what Unrivaled was on yesterday. So there's so many different platforms that people aren't taking into account. Then, like you mentioned, you got YouTube, you got shorts, you got TikTok videos that are showing highlights, showing moments, showing all of this. You got to take all of that into account as well.
yeah, so that's a good thing about Unrivaled because I mean it's a 7 minute quarter game. Like it's a 7 minute quarter. So and now in today's world where there's so much streaming and so much going on, the shorter the better in a sense. I've noticed where they're starting to take certain like older movies and certain on certain platforms and they'll chop up the movie and be like part one, part two, part three. And I'm like, wait a minute. When I first saw this movie, it was just a straight full feature length. So I feel like the actual like you say, the actual viewership versus, the media coverage is different now. Because to as millennials, it was nothing to we finna watch the full Titanic. We finna watch the whole movie. Nowadays with media coverage, you can watch a part of something here, watch the next part later, or oh man, you look at the box score and be like, oh man, the score is like 84, 86. Who hit the deciding shot? That's all you care about. You care about the outcome sometimes, and you want to see
Hmm.
how the outcome happened, and it allows you to be conversational within the space.
Right. And people think that fans only support women's basketball during like championships and big moments. Like, no, there's in season games that are just maybe like aces versus whoever that have really high viewership, but there's also maybe a wings game versus whoever that has high viewership just in that area. Like, people don't
Yeah,
just tap in during the championships or just big moments. People are tapping in year round, and you could tell by YouTube and highlights and streaming platforms.
yeah, people are tapping in just because like you never certain regions of the world have different things like women's hockey. I'm quite sure it's big in like the up north areas and places that snows like Minnesota and stuff. I mean, that's what they know, hockey.
Right.
That's what's prominent to them. So they're going to look at hockey, whether it's men's hockey, women hockey. They're teaching their kids how to play hockey from an early age. Just like down here in the South. When you got down in the South, like it's different things like, rodeo, horsing, horse racing. There are a lot of things that's in the South that's not, equivalent in a lot of areas like out west. You'll probably pay more attention to surfing, things like, extreme sports, because that happens real big out west.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't happen in the South. But because of streaming, you get access to it all, and the attention spans of people are so short. So now it's, I'm finna watch this football. Oh, the let's say the 49ers, they played at a certain time. Oh, we can finna go through watching the 49ers. Now we're finna go watch the I don't know, the some kind of extreme jet skiing or something, because that's what they're into. The 49ers already done played. So, that team's out the way. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go see my other favorite thing. Like, is large.
It is, and I think it's definitely going to change for the better. We saw last night Snoop Dogg was commentating the Clippers versus the Warriors game, and he was very entertaining. Like, I can close my eyes. I really like when I can close my eyes and just listen. Because if you can really describe the game to where I don't need to see, then you have talent. And I feel like Snoop Dogg just makes things more entertaining. You want to watch it because he's going to be saying some crazy stuff, or he's going to make you laugh, or he's just going to make it more entertaining. So I feel like if we have more people like that, like having those opportunities, or even, it doesn't even have to be Snoop Dogg. It could be somebody down the street that's just hilarious that you just don't know about. Like, just giving people opportunities to be in this space and to show their talent. I think it's just going to change things.
Yes, definitely is.
One thing, I saw a video, it was an episode on Funky Friday with Cam, and there was a guest on there, and she said people need to stop looking at like big names to like be successful or to get viewership. Like, work with smaller people in your community and build each other up, because like Kai Cenat, like a few years ago he wasn't anybody, now he's big. But like, if you build up with your team, eventually you're going to get to that space where you're making a big impact. And I feel like if they just keep giving people opportunities to do that, it's going to be golden. Our next thing you should know is player empowerment is making leagues uncomfortable. Example, Nafisha Collier. When she sat down at the end of the season and gave her speech about how terrible the leadership was for the WNBA, it made them uncomfortable. And Kathy doubled down and said, I ain't saying none of that. So you saying Fee's lying? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, player. I mean, but it's a bigger stigmatism toward women though, because see what Parsons did. Parsons forced his way out of Dallas. That's football.
Exactly. Laying on the training table during a game or practice. Like, he was not playing. Get me out of
You
here.
have you have Antonio Brown walking off the field in football. Now he ain't got no other opportunity since, but I'm just saying, like, when you think about it, like, you'll say what you're gonna say, but it's more frowned upon for women. And I
That's
don't
true.
think that's necessarily a fair, a fair assessment. I mean, people are people. Take the gender out of it. People are people. If something isn't right, somebody should say something. And then amongst a group of people, a leader has to emerge, and that's what she did. Because you'll put a stigmatism around a player. Like, let's take Trinity Carter for instance. You'll put a stigmatism around a player, saying she's this, she's that. Now she's overseas playing, still put up the same stuff she would have did in the W. But you put a stigmatism around a player. Why we can't put the same stigmatism around leadership, ownership, and investment?
Right.
It's because you have hold all the cards and I don't. Well, let's reshuffle the deck
Let's reshuffle because I need a new hand. This ain't it.
instantly. I need a new hand. It's not like you say, it's not like they say, it's not the hand that's dealt, it's how you play your cards.
Right.
And then and I feel like Trinity Carter is on the side, because I mean, you're gonna be who you're gonna be. Basketball doesn't change. If I have a
Mm-hmm.
talent for it, I can do it and I stay with it. I'm overseas. I'm getting love overseas. Matter of fact, you seen it in love in basketball. When the girl was there was talking, She was like, man, well, they treat us like royalty over here. We getting love like this, that, and the third. Like, if you're good or if you can play, is trust me, it's gonna happen. And
Right.
conversion factor is real. Dinero, yen, pesos, it all converts. It all spin. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, you can't in today's world where a lot of things are changing, you can't silence people.
You can't, especially in the world of social media. Like, cancel culture is big still. Like, people ain't playing. We're woke, okay? We woke up in 2020. And they're just, people aren't just playing that. I mean, even look at AJ Brown. Like, he was very vocal during this season about his frustrations and what he was dealing with on the team. And people had so many negative things to say about him. He's just speaking his truth, and it's true.
Yeah, I mean, how I feel on his situation, you was just being a prima donna, and you would never go on another parlay slip for me for the rest of this season because at that point in time it was
Uh,
looking bad. But since whatever they got hashed out from him saying what he had to say, he been on the street. He been catching a lot of stuff here. Maybe
maybe
it takes
people need
that.
to
I
speak up.
pass me the ball. A few years ago, my Boston Celtics, they Marcus Smart came out and was spoke out against both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's like they don't pass the ball enough. We end up going to the finals, lost to Golden State, but they end up going to the finals. And everybody's like, why would he say that right in there? Sometimes you need to say what's been said. Just because they got the contracts, don't mean I can't say nothing. I'm still a part of this team. But that also says to say, just because you are at the higher echelon, you are at the top, don't mean I can't come for you neither. Because at the same time, I'm what's making this ecosystem click too. So, but like I say, but when it comes to women, well, like we say, agreed to. When it comes to women, it's just like, yeah, I guess they just feel like they're supposed to shut up and stay in the corner. And them days is over.
Right.
Them days
Just
is
sit and look
gone.
pretty. Just sit and look pretty and just don't ask for anything. It's crazy because you should be grateful for what you have. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, I don't understand that because man, we're humans. Like at the end of the day, we're humans. And if I'm good at what I do, like I can kind of understand. Like I feel like they understand. Like it's going to be a long time before the scale tips to us making the same amount of money as men do.
Right.
But however, pay us. I mean, pay us what you owe us. Pay us a little bit more. But he who does not feel me is not real to me, so therefore he doesn't exist. That's Jay-Z said it best. So I guess right. I guess the W ain't finna exist. Megan Rapinoe
Um,
said the same thing. Pay us. Like with
that's
the
it.
soccer team, we win. We win way more than the men. Why we ain't making this money? Pay us.
Right.
And if you got soccer, now you got basketball. After a while, you're gonna have the swim team. After a while, you're gonna have volleyball. It just keep counting them off. You ain't gonna be able to silence a whole epidemic. You ain't gonna be able to silence a whole, what's the word I'm looking for? A whole demographic. And that's women. You ain't gonna be able to silence them all.
Right.
And the only way you're gonna be able to silence them is to pay them. So just go ahead and nip it in the bud.
Right. Like, why? I think they're trying to hold off because they think they will just give up. No. No, they're not giving up.
I guarantee you, man, you gonna give up before they fingers give up. Cause boy, this
Right.
right here, do this right here, and it pops up, and you be like, yeah, you should have just did what you had to do, man. Bam.
Right. Should have. All right. Next on our list, this is a really big topic. NIL is exposing who really supports college athletes. NIL is getting out of hand. I'm on the fence because for one, my job is to help athletes build their brand and make money on social media. And of course, athletes get, they have jerseys being sold, their name and is being used. They definitely deserve money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, as someone that wants to work with athletes on their brands, how do I tell a college athlete, like for instance, college athlete has two offers, right? $4 million, Ohio State, or college A. $2 million, college B. College B is going to develop you, give you the best chances to go to the NFL, right? But college A is paying you more. And they're not that big. They're not, I mean, you're going to get some coverage. You're still going to be seen, but at least you're making $2 more million. How do you tell an athlete which one to choose? Like, it's hard because, for example, like some athletes get injured and that's it. Some don't go to the league and they're not going to have that chance to make more money. So it's just, I don't know. I think the transfer portal just makes it hard because now athletes are entering this portal and they're being persuaded by money, not by legacy, not by the opportunity to play with somebody or a coach, not to make a difference or actually be in the NFL. It's money driven. I don't know. It's just making college sports very lucrative, even though it is, but even more. It's about business now. So it's like now in high school, you really have to tell these athletes how to handle money, how to budget, how to look for scams, how to read contracts. You have to prepare them earlier now.
So the question to them is, if you're going to choose between A and B, is how hard are you willing to work? And we're not talking about just on the field. Once you start to dabble into this adult field of contracts and stuff, you now have a job. How hard are you willing to work? Because if you're, okay, for example, you're paying me this much to come play. I'm not going to get as much exposure or whatever, but I do know the risk of going to a smaller school. That the coverage isn't so good. So how hard am I willing to work? I'm finna put in that work on the field, but me and you as my manager or my NIL campaign manager, I'm finna put out videos or we're finna get together and figure out what we're finna do. Because again, streaming is at its best.
Right.
I'm finna get saw. I'm finna get seen. We're finna work in the off season. I'm out here with the jump ropes. I'm out here going up the stairs and the ladders. I'm out here putting whatever it is that my major is, whatever it is that my interest is. Like I give you an example. Look at Flora J. Johnson. Even though she's going to a bigger school, but what I'm using her for an example is because I'm still working. I ain't rapping. Like if this basketball stuff don't work out, yeah, y'all know me. I rap too. Like how hard are you willing to work? How hard are you willing to work? So when you make that NIL deal, or for people who are looking to guide athletes for an NIL deal, let them know. I don't feel like there's no right or wrong when making a choice. Because yes, I could go here for less money. I get the best exposure. I'm already getting the best exposure. I don't have to work so as hard on the field or so much of a craft. The exposure is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But you also need to let them know it's a double-sided coin. Academics and stuff like that. Make sure you the main thing is make sure you work and market yourself. Get you a sustainable foundation. Like you say, budgeting and stuff. But get you a sustainable foundation, because after this is all said and done, what if I break a toe, break a leg, or maybe I don't get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
What I can fall back on is a few of these dollars. I got a successful rap career. Maybe I was an artist. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I got into building homes and construction. I don't know. Just know you have to work. It does not, just because you get this money, it does not stop. How hard are you willing to work, and where are you going? Let's make sure we have let's draw out a 2-year plan, a 4-year plan, a 6-year plan, an 8-year plan, a 10-year plan. And I'm not talking about skipping the steps. By 2 years, this is what we're looking like. By 4 years, this is what we're looking like. Make sure you know what you're doing.
Right. And kind of just build up that way. That does make more sense, because it's like, yeah, you may be taking a $2 million hit. However, you have invested in a great team, a great brand manager to position you in a way that you're still seen. For example, Shiloh, even though he's Deion Sanders' son, he went to Jackson State, then they went to Colorado. He got drafted but let go. He still kept his streaming and his YouTube channel. It's popping. Now people really know Shiloh from his YouTube, and not so much that, who's in the league. So that just makes more sense. But I feel like a lot of athletes, like, some get in these NIL deals and they're just not good deals at all. And then they just end up losing their money. So there needs to be more education on NIL, what to get, who, because sometimes not all money is good money, okay? So I just feel like you have to prep these young athletes so early to really spot incorrect things. Like, especially on contracts, emails, like, you really need to build a team early. It doesn't even have to be somebody that's extremely popular, just has a big track record of working with people. Like, you just need to have somebody that you can trust with your brand and your legacy. It's a valid
Legacy.
point you made. Thank you for that.
Say it again.
That was a valid point you made. Thank you for that.
Yeah, legacy. That's, I mean, you just pretty much summed up everything I said. Legacy. That's all it is. Legacy. How are you going to be immortalized in time? That's the
Mm-hmm.
whole question. Where do you see
Mm-hmm.
yourself going?
Yep. Where do you see yourself going? Because football is no longer solely based on skills. It's if you're marketable. If you can make somebody some money and
That's
make them
any
look
sport.
good.
That's any
Yeah,
sport.
that's any sport. Like, can you bridge the gap between people that don't watch sports and, people that do watch sports? Like, can you be that bridge to kind of bring everybody together?
Another thing collegiate athletes need to see too is when you're looking, start it's deep. Start scoping. Okay, say you got an offer from a small school somewhere in Georgia's per se. um Football is not going, like, just to be like, sometimes you have to be honest with yourself. I'm playing this game, this to get me a full ride to where I'm going. I'm not pro, it's not really in the cards unless I just do something stellar or spectacular. You have to be fair in your assessment of yourself. But when you do get these NIL deals, however they go, start scoping the area. Like, NIL deals ain't just big major stuff, man. It could be Debo's chicken coop around the corner.
Man.
It's take over the city. Get the city to buy into you. So scope your city. Like, it could be a population of 1,000, but if 1,000 people go to this same chicken spot for lunch, man, don't you
Man.
think you're gonna get paid on this NIL deal?
You
NIL
finna
deal
get paid.
you ain't just got to go to Cog and Nissan or whatever to get an NIL deal, man. Start looking at the small stuff, or Chinese photography, man. I'm on the billboard like this. I'm on the billboard, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I am, and find places that's starting. I ain't gonna say you need to find two things: an everlasting chain that's been here for a while, and find something that has a good trajectory starting up just like you, and y'all grow together. Find those two things. Find you a starting point and find you an end point, and everything in the middle will fall in. The
Mm-hmm.
end point, the end point will be somebody you grew with. The starting point will be somebody that's been here forever. They're never going nowhere, no matter what you do. That's your restaurants that's done been around in this city for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Them the ones you sign the autographs for and you kiss babies. And then the end point will be, hey man, I do photography or whatever, man. Let me do all your training videos. Let me do all that there, man. We'll grow together. That's your end point, because when it's all said and done, that's where you're gonna put that stock into. Because guess what? I'm done playing football. I'm done doing this now. But when it comes to, hey man, what have you done for? Oh man, you ain't seen my work. I done photography for you, and that's a kickback.
Yep.
It's all uphill.
Yep. People don't understand it. You got to build slowly to be successful too. Like, I know some people, like, for instance, like social media, people want to go viral. But what about those videos that are 5,000 views, 2,000 views that just build up and eventually you get to that $1 million view? Like, people don't understand the process.
People
Like,
love a
you
story
don't
in a
have to
journey.
get from A to Z in 5 minutes.
People
Let's
love a
let's
story in a journey.
man, it's just like, there's an athlete, his name is Raekwon Smith. He already graduated, but he was named the king of NIL because he started off small and he built, working with little companies, and he built, I think, over $1 million in NIL just from small companies because he knows how to leverage. People need to take notes.
I watched the Allen Iverson story. I encourage anybody to watch that. The Allen Iverson documentary, man. if Allen Iverson, if the events of Allen Iverson happened today, man, NIL would be crazy over this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson was a cultural icon. I'm talking about from the moment of high school till NBA. If you just watch, just chronologize everything from turn your negatives into positives. Don't be afraid to try stuff. Dare to be different,
Mm-hmm.
and put your heart and soul in with everything you love. Them the four pillars.
Yep.
That's the whole definition of name, image, and likeness.
Mm-hmm. It's not just to make money off your name. You want to be known. You want your name to last for a while. You want to build generational wealth. You don't want to just be here for a short time. You want to be here for a long time.
Yeah, you gotta let that bankroll bill in the sports betting terms. You gotta let that bankroll bill, man. You gotta be sitting at the table for a minute.
Speaking of sports betting, let's get into our next topic. Sports betting is changing how fans watch games. And then people are saying it's more betting first viewing, like I'm watching the game because I put money on LeBron, Luca, and Reeves. That's the only reason why I'm watching it. And not versus, oh, I want to watch it because I like the Lakers. It's
Well,
changing.
well, sometimes people gotta realize when you got it bad. When you on this phone, hang up and you call right back. You gotta realize when you got it bad, man. Like people don't realize you. Like I just said, you got to be here. You can't be here. You can't. First of all, there a small percentage of people that struck rich off this. Start looking at more as an investment. So if you do, you'll be able to enjoy the game and its outcome because you'll know what you're looking for inside the bets. But people they're getting ridiculous with it. Like you're never supposed to bet with your heart. So betting on your team isn't a wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
But also betting on the outcome of the game is not the wisest decision. Neither. You have to find a mix in between.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you watching this? Why are you think about why are you finna bet on this game? That's the first thing. Why am I betting on this game? Then two, figure out how much you're gonna put on this game. That way, when the third point I'm finna make, when the dust settles, you're not mad about the outcome. You're not mad about the outcome because you're
Mm-hmm.
only supposed. They say statistically you're only supposed to bet like 1% of your bankroll. Like if you got $100, you're only supposed to bet $1 per bet.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna get nowhere like that. You can, but I mean, you're not
That's when
gonna
it
really.
comes to 6, 7, 8 leg parlays to even make
Yeah, but
something.
the chances of it is ridiculous.
Right.
I say get you a conversion factor on $100 bankroll. I say 10% a bet is great because you can take you can take $10 and put on two legs. You'll probably get about $17 if you play it right. Take them little $7 and move on.
Right.
Never try to chase and don't try to chase the losses because again you're betting on the outcome. That's going to influence when you chase losses. You're going to try to oh man, you're gonna look at the next game like man, oh this what's gonna happen in this game because you're trying to get that money back. So you're going with the outcome that's going to get you the money back instead of just saying realistically this is not going to happen. They'll win like this or whatever go. No, because I found myself back when I first started like, oh, okay, oh, but man, I just lost $20 on this last bet, but I can get $4 on this bet if they cover the spread by 7. But you got OKC playing the Pelicans. It's not finna work. I mean, OKC just lost that night, but still, like theoretically, that's not finna happen a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Right.
You're gonna be down 40 instead of 20.
People just I think it's just getting out of hand. It not only from our perspective, but like the players. Why, as an athlete that's making millions of dollars, are you sports betting. Like you're being the intel for people to place a bet on you, and you're throwing the game or you're doing certain things to influence the outcome. Why?
You ever seen Django?
Yep.
Django, we got you, gal. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, and I say to say this, we'll never know what's going on behind the scenes.
That's true.
Django, we got you, gal. Man, I got your family. Uh, we need you to come down a few points in this game if you want them to come out alive. Or people be you don't make so much money. You don't gave away so much money. You're hurting for money. You're used to being a pillar for your family. This offer comes by. The mob, whoever it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying,
I
like,
don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, because there's something making you do that. And there's something, I feel like there's something drastic making you do that. This ain't just agreed for money. If it's just agreed for money, you'll be at the poker table. For you to save a whole game and risk your career, it's something going on here. Somebody's got something. We got your mama. We got your mama, or you are
Blackmail.
so drastically in debt to the
Yeah.
fact that this got to happen. Something big has got to happen for you to shade these points. Like the longest yard. Not even talking about the one with Adam Sandler. Like the 1974 one when Burt Reynolds was young. Like he got arrested for point shaving. That's why, like, he got kicked out of the league for point shaving. And then he got, you've seen the regular longest yard. Then he got arrested and went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going on and it's not going to stop. Tim Donahue, the ref, like somebody's throwing the game somewhere. You never know. You thinking it's all good. Oh yeah, all right, break. We finna go. You jogging out to the locker room. You jogging out the locker room to the game, and somebody just pull you to the side. And it's management. Hey, I need you to throw this game. Why? Management could be in trouble. Management could have went to a high stakes poker game and lost. You never know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Just like with coaching trees and stuff. Like when you do something wrong, like when the GM do something or the owner do something, but it falls on the coaches. The coach is the first one to get fired. It's going to come back on the player. It's never going to come back on management. It's going to come back on the player. We don't know. We really don't.
Yeah, we don't.
It's just sad. It's just
very
sad.
sad. It's very sad. Especially when fans feel the need to like get in the DMs of the athletes or comment on their page saying, "Man, you sold this game. I lost my bet." Like that's when it gets out of hand. Like it's
That's because
not
you
that
ain't placed no
serious.
$5 bet on the game. You ain't placed no
Right.
$5 bet, no $1 bet. You put the light bill money on the game. Ain't nobody tell you to do that.
Right. That's your fault. Don't be blaming these players. It's crazy.
Pay attention to the bottom of the screen. 1-800 I have a problem. I mean,
Right.
you might call that line.
You might need to because you're tripping. All right. So, our last topic of this segment is women's basketball is driving culture, not just sports. Players are influencing fashion, music, and social media. Fashion, we got, the shoe deals with Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Stewie. Music, Flauget. I think there's some other. Are there some more that are rapping or at least singing?
I'm quite sure there are other artists. We just don't.
Right, we
You
just
can
don't
have,
know.
you can have a country music star and making somewhere that's hooping on the court. We just do not know yet.
Don't know. And that's the power of social media. Stud buds, streaming. Like, that is just a new wave of social media and just influencing your audience. There's so many ways to be seen and to influence people. It's crazy. And I feel like women's sports, just in basketball in general, is just really driving the culture because people are joining in. They're being put on these platforms and they're actually speaking up, using their platform for the greater good, and just doing great things and just showing women in a positive light.
I agree. I really feel like women have mastered the NIL and the space. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
the guys are a little bit behind. because they see money. But then I mean, but this I will say too though, a lot of guys make a lot like a lot of guys go pro, but they make a lot of deals due to the fact that they're carrying a lot of family burdens on them. So when it all go bad, they look like I mean they mismanaged money, but they was doing a lot of looking out too. Just saying. But no, women have learned to master the space, and they're uberly focused nowadays. Uberly, like when you just playing basketball, now you at the video shoot. How do you do this? Like they're very focused, and I feel like men should pay attention. Also, I feel like there's a stigmatism around just the physicality of all the sports because like, oh, they're able to do this because oh, they're not getting this is not happening, this is not happening. The game is just as physical because I mean, if you get a bunch of guys out there, you all within a class, a testosterone class. Same thing with women. You all in the estrogen class. Like, I mean, it's not like you got co-ed play.
Right.
So they're the physicality and the strengths of them and the physicality with the strengths of men. It's equal. You know, you're playing with who you're playing with. Like if you seen the play with Fee and Alyssa Thomas, like that's one of the more physical bang bang plays I've seen. Not to say I'm not here to judge whether it was a foul or whatever, but that just show you the level of physicality when the game is on the line, or they just show you like there's competitiveness in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know why that stigmatism is there, and I also feel like a lot of women's sports are more organized, especially basketball, than men's sports.
Right.
If you want to learn how to play basketball, watch women's sports. Watch women's basketball if you want to learn how to play basketball. Like they come out their sets clean. They utilize the picks and they play fluid basketball. It's emotion. Sometimes women are freakish athletic too. Now you have some freakish athletic women, but I'm talking about in terms of men. When the play breaks down, Giannis just Space Jams dunks. Like he extends out of Space Jam dunks, and that's to me that's just you just being 6'11" and can just put the ball in the hoop. Like
Right.
sometimes you get tired of seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to see the systems, the cohesion of a team. I don't want to see when the play breaks down, he just go do it. I don't want to see that.
Right. I feel like in men's basketball, I feel like nobody wants to go to the rack anymore. Nobody wants to be physical. Why are we shooting so many threes?
That's a lot of time. I feel like that's what separated the men's and women game because
Where's the mid range at? Like, where'd that go?
Yeah. Like Snoop said it best last night. He was like, "Oh man, I'm in a different era of basketball." Cause he was like, "Oh yeah, post him up, post little dude up, take him to the race." "Oh man, what you doing?" Brooke Lopez. Matter of fact, that's exactly what he was talking about. Brooke Lopez. "Oh man, you too big for that big fella." And he was like, "Wait a minute, I'm in a different era of basketball."
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're used to, man. Put your like when you got the size of man, put your back to the basket and get to work.
I'm saying, get to the rack, draw the foul. I think everybody wants to be Steph Curry. He is one of one, okay? That man is just a shooting machine. You can't do it. But I think people are just like, oh, I want to be like Steph Curry. I want to get my 3-point percentage up. No. Stop. I'm bored. I will turn it off real quick.
And if that's the case, I might as well watch women's sports because I feel like that's what separated men and women's sports for the longest. The ability to get to the rack with high flying finishes, high flying dunks. You know, you don't see a lot of that in women's sports. But if you finna come up and shoot all these threes and do that, that's what they do. I'm finna watch them.
Right.
And now it's coming to the point where we get players like Dom and them who can Ray Bird who's touching the rack. And that's all y'all want to do is shoot. I'd rather watch them.
Right. I'm not entertained.
I'm not entertained. Like there's no defense being played. There's no scrappiness. I'm getting outraged by the high point totals. Like just nobody comes to play defense. Like nobody. Like what happened to that?
Nobody. Just playing defense anymore. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. It's crazy.
Crazy. All right, so our last segment of today is called Nah, That Ain't It. So we usually choose topics that are controversial in sports for the week and we just talk about if, that's just not it. There's just a lot of takes on it, and we just feel like people are just a little lost. So, our topic is comparing women's basketball to men's basketball as a measure of value. There's been constant comparisons instead of appreciating the game for what it is, downplaying physicality in women's sports, and acting like the game lacks toughness or intensity.
Again, I go back to Alyssa Thomas and the feature Carter play. I'm not here to dictate whether it was a foul. I'm just showing in the wee seconds of the game when the game was on the line. That was star on star. That was the leaders of each team and the competitiveness. And sorry that someone got hurt at the end of it all, but that shows you competitiveness. You see it.
Competitiveness. You see more flops in the NBA than the WNBA.
Oh yeah.
People are really trying to really sell the foul. Like you get nicked, on your chin. It's just like, oh, I'm on the floor. Like what? Get up.
Yeah.
Get up, sir.
Yeah. That's all it is. Like the competitive. I feel like the women's game way more competitive, man.
Have y'all not seen Indiana Fever? This last season, they were competitive. So competitive on the court, they were competitive on the bench mob. Like, they weren't playing. Aaliyah Boston, she not playing. Like you said, Alyssa Thomas, she not playing. Alicia Gray, she not playing. Like,
like you say, the Fever and the Aces, to the naked eye, the Fever finna sweep them. I mean, the Aces finna sweep them. I said, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. They got something to prove. We are more. I feel like the first thing they had to prove, y'all rolled us all after Caitlin Clark got hurt. Yep. That's the first thing. You wrote us off. Second thing, like Aaliyah Boston ain't the number 1 overall neither. So second thing, it is the Aces. Y'all just think AJ just gonna come in and have her way. I feel like that was her hardest through the 3 playoff series. That was her hardest series. Cause the Mercury just didn't have no answer for her. She struggled against the Fever. She struggled. This is the best player in the league now. AB gave her what she wanted. She struggled.
Mm-hmm.
She struggled.
And it's like they both came from the same college. So it's like they were trying to say
it's a college coming out of Carolina.
Right.
You don't see stuff like that. Like people don't pay attention to stuff like that. So I feel like the competitive level is it's way more competitive than the NBA because now everybody in the NBA is wanting to be friends, buddy.
Right. And the crazy thing is, when players get to the NBA, sometimes I feel like for me, they stop trying hard. You're supposed to be the best of the best. You got drafted over hundreds of people. You should be performing. I know sometimes it's just team energy, but some people just be falling off. And I'm not understanding why. WNBA, you don't really see that. I guess because there's just less players, but still. Like, WNBA players, they're working hard because they know there's not a lot of roster spots. So I have to work hard to keep my spot. The NBA, I feel like some players are just laxed.
I got that check. That's all I can say. I just got that check. Once I get that check, you lose. Money is the motivation, but once the money has been made, what is the motivation?
Right. It's very unfortunate because there's so many people that deserve an opportunity. Yeah. And you're just wasting it.
You're just wasting it. Just wasting it.
Oh, well, yeah. But hopefully, the mindsets of people will change as women's basketball continues to progress and be at the forefront of women's sports. I think this is great. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching our show. We're going to have new episodes every Thursday, and we'll be posting clips throughout the week, so stay locked in.